Okay.
Chicka, chicka. Yeah.
Kill Bill and Rev. We don't suck.
Hey, welcome back, one and all. It's We Don't Suck. My name is Rav. This is Rav, and we are Rav.
It is I, Rav. That's my laugh.
You're canceled.
Put me down, brother. Put me down in the ground. Just as my mentor Jay Leno would say. Everybody give it up for Jay Leno. Good guy. Big chin.
Nope.
No?
Don't like that guy. Hey, you know what we can talk about?
What?
We need to address your that acute condition you have.
I am cute.
Your toenail biting addiction.
Dude, how are you gonna air me out like this in front of my peers?
You're like a bedroom fart. Gotta air you out.
All right. Is that an Eminem punchline? Yeah. Well, yeah, dude. It all started when I was 25, and I watched this documentary on toenail biting.
Play the sad violins.
Okay, I'll be sure to edit that in there. So the documentary is about toenail biting. And I was like, this is the lifestyle for me. I saw it was ruining people's lives, but like I knew the initial rush of that toenail biting would really just set me off. It really triggered me, friend. And so I just started. So it's not a moment that goes by where I'm actually biting my toenails right now as we speak. Like every time I close my mouth when I'm talking, I'm biting it. I'm chomping at a toenail.
On the flip side, it's made you a lot more athletic than the average person.
I would say pliable. I'm more pliable, bendable.
Definitely. You're like a briefcase.
Yeah, I can fit in a briefcase now. A very big briefcase.
That's why they call you Bill the Briefcase around here.
Dude, that is why they call me that. That's weird that you would, air me out like this.
Be aware of, again, can you make up an Eminem punchline to throw at me now, just so that we're like fair and square?
Okay.
Even Steven.
Okay. Your bars is dookie poopy. Is that good?
Oh my god, that's so good.
I mean,
that's exactly something he'd say.
That is actually something he said. He said that in 8 Mile. So I don't mean to be that dude who, I don't mean to be the dude who bites, but you put me on the spot. I can't freestyle. As soon as they asked me to freestyle on Super Mega Podcast, they were like, yeah, dude, let's hear some bars about having sex with your father. And I was just
They didn't say that.
They did, dude. They did.
They didn't. They just said freestyle, and you're like, should I talk about fucking your dad, my dad? And they're like, it doesn't have to be dad fucking bars. And you're like, whose dad am I fucking?
Whose dad do you have to fuck the fucking dad around here? Yeah, and then you were just ready with those non-premeditated dad bars. You know what I'm saying? You had to really lay it on thick, and then there I am looking stupid because I can't rap about having sex with my dad.
You just have to think about it all the time, and then it's like it'll never catch you by surprise. Just think about it.
Dude, ever since that moment, not a moment has gone by since then that I haven't been thinking about it.
When was the first time you freestyled? How did you get into freestyling?
Man, I used to try to freestyle by myself all the time, and what I would do really was like just practice bars and then like have like a freestyle like tangent of like 2 lines, and then I would do a bar that I'd practiced already. So I wasn't really freestyling. But like,
okay.
But see, like none of my friends rapped at that age, so it was just like weird. But then like later on, when I moved to Columbia, that's when I started freestyling a lot. There was a period of time where I was like I was freestyling constantly, like with my friends. So
I remember like us even freestyling a lot when I was living with you. I remember when we'd go in the car, we'd freestyle. When we get high and play Kubrick's beat tapes on loop, we'd freestyle.
Yeah, dude, that was a good time. That was a good beat tape too. That
shout out Kubrick.
Yeah, shout out Kubrick.
One of the best producers out there. Y'all gotta look him up.
Shout out Kubrick's. I think he's like one of the best producers like ever. I really enjoy his music a lot.
If I don't forget, I'll try to link him down in the description. But if I forget, just look up Kubrick's.
It's with 3 X's.
Kubri and then triple X. Yeah, like very talented guy.
Yeah. But no, like actually, to be completely honest with you, going back to the freestyling thing, like the first time I really started freestyling actually was with you online.
Oh shit, really?
Because we would do that game. Remember, we would do those games where it would be like us, like we'd have to like work within the confines of a rhyme scheme and see how far we could stretch it for like, and it was like it's a great exercise for like teaching yourself to freestyle. But
that's true.
That's really the first time I started freestyling.
Ping pong it, right?
Yeah, we would. It's bar pong. That's a technical term. It has a thing
bar
now.
Pong,
yeah, because like the Battle of the Zay, they have that now. It's called bar pong, and they have to go back and forth. And the person who can't think of a line, or they think of a whack line, then they lose a point, and then they have to take a cup off. Because it's like on like a little like beer pong table or whatever. Yeah. So it's pretty sick.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, that was always fun because then it kind of starts with like, it's sort of at first almost kind of forced. The first two are like, oh, bet. Then it's kind of forced. And then it goes through this weird like phase where you're like, oh, wait, this and that and this. And it like gets funny.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's always like it starts off strong. Then there's like a few where we're just like kind of struggling, and then we're like, oh yeah, I never thought about this, and we keep having never thought about this bar, like over and over. It's cool.
Yeah, it's great.
We haven't done that in a while. We should do that sometime.
Yeah, we should. I haven't freestyled in a long time. I used to freestyle to myself, but so busy with actual, work and being in a relationship that I think it'd be weird if I was walking around in the office and
nah, dude,
just like freestyling to myself,
Yeah, no, just freestyle. I mean, people do it where I worked at. Oh yeah, I didn't really talk about that. I quit my job for everybody.
Congrats.
Yeah, dude, everybody give it up. Jimmy Fallon quit his job. So I'm pretty hyped about that shit.
You're a hippie now.
Yeah, I'm a full-on hippie, a bum, podcast slut, rap man. That's what I am. That's what I put on my resume when I, eventually have to turn one in, hopefully many years from now. But
yeah, I still work full time and do overtime every day. And, it is what it is. Yesterday there was something kind of funny. Sometimes I get really into my work and I forget that I'm like not alone in the office.
Right.
In the sense that like I'm part of management. I'm middle management, right? And we used to be in a separate room, just the management room, and now we sit on the floor, so to speak, with the whole department. So that it was a decision we made because it's sort of we got to keep a closer eye on everybody and really be more involved with all the teams that we're running.
Right.
And I sometimes forget that people can hear me, and it was apparently there was like a very quiet moment where like almost the entire floor was quiet, and I was just going through some like invoicing or whatever, and I was just like, fuck you, you're not my dad. And then everybody started laughing, and I hope people didn't lose respect but gain respect for me in that process.
I mean, that's the one thing, man, is like I feel like a lot of times I know that there's like a certain level. I know nothing about management, but I know there's a certain level of like professionalism you have to keep up with your people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I've always liked managers that I could like get along with, or that are relatable and that aren't just like robots that are just like do work. You know what I'm saying, all the time. Yeah. Like
I'm pretty chill.
I'll always like respect, as long as people respect me. Like I'll respect them, like in an office, like, and if they like, especially if we can like sit down and talk, and like that was my old manager. Like we would bullshit all the time, and I like have a lot of respect for her just because it was like she's like a human, and she wasn't like just like, man, fuck all y'all, do all the work all the time. You know, I mean, she would still make us do all the work all the time, but we would talk shit while we did it, you know, so.
It's tough though, like, because sometimes, you know, like I run a department of like about 100 people, and it's when you're going through so much stress, just relentless throughout the day, and it feels like you've got a scroll of things to do, and just not like more things every time you go through one part of the list, like one bullet point, 3 new ones get added.
Right.
And it gets really stressful, and sometimes you do kind of, your like tolerance for people's mistakes like shrinks. So it gets to a point where sometimes I'm just like, I'm mad, and I like to think I'm pretty chill, and that I give people opportunity, I talk with them and everything, but I had this moment last week where this girl, we trained her up for like a higher position, like a junior manager, and we're training her up, and I never really liked her, never thought she was good for the job. She was snobby, she was kind of rude to other people, very socially awkward, but not particularly talented or really keen eye for detail or anything. She's just had political motivations within the company, right? So I didn't like her, but
right.
I
you
didn't
feel like she was there for the wrong reasons, and was also just not good.
But I didn't single her out, even though like I know like there's people I like that didn't get along with her. I kind of didn't care for it, but we put her in a position, and it wasn't my decision, but just a collective decision and part of management to put her in a higher position,
right, and
give her some responsibilities, and she was really not doing well, and many times, and I had to tell her so many times, and she's the kind of person where you come over, you're like, what did you do? And it'd be like 2 hours into the day and she did nothing. She's been sitting on her hands. I'm like, did you do that? And she's like, no. And like starts talking and just talking. And then when she finishes, you start talking, and she starts talking on top of you, just continuing to justify herself.
Yeah.
And I had to tell her to like stop interrupting me and to like let me finish.
I've worked with people like that too, man. It's really awkward because like I've never been in a management position, but I've seen people like this, certain types of people, especially like I've worked mostly in restaurant business, and like it'll be like the same mistakes all the time, or like people will just be lazy, and instead of just like I think people like appreciate honesty, and like instead of just owning up to whatever it is, like acting like whoever is in charge is stupid and talking over them, when in actuality they're just trying to make sure everything runs smoothly, and they feel like they feel like they're being singled out or something, and they never look at it like, maybe I did fuck up here. You know what I mean?
But this time was different, where like I kind of explained to her now, like, because I got so pissed off, and I was like, you keep interrupting me. I can't even like get one sentence in without you just butting in and interrupting me. You spent first 4 hours doing fuck all, sitting on your hands, wasting your time, wasting my time, wasting the client's time. So I kind of went off because she kept interrupting me so long, and I gave it to her. And again, I never told her like, shut up or anything like that.
You really just decked her in the face.
But I kind of did, and it felt bad.
The way you said that, you decked her in the face. Yeah, kinda. I felt bad about it. I really just laid her.
I need her in the nose, and she passed out. No, but I decked her in the face with like the words,
You decked her in the face with your sword of logic, dude.
With my sword of Jordan Peterson truth, right? Yeah. But the thing is, I shouldn't have unsheathed my sword of truth because, in all seriousness, like,
sorry.
Following that conversation, anytime she comes around or I come around her desk and talk with her, like, and she starts talking now faster and trying to say what she's doing, and like stumbles over her words, and she shakes, and I notice her hand shaking. And I feel like shit, and I don't like her, but I feel like shit. And
yeah, it's weird.
I like to think that I wasn't unfair, in that situation, and that like I'm trying to run help run a business, right? And make sure that we keep these clients and we build these relationships and we don't squander them. And she was a person who was at the forefront of like this specific like client communication. She was a point of contact, and she wasn't doing her job.
Right.
And I do my best to train and mentor people and get them through like difficult times. Sometimes I tell them off, but you know, just like normal, kind of like, it's better that you do this. You should consider doing that. And with her, I tried like a million things before we got to that point where I was telling her off. But when I did get to it and I told her off, I felt it was necessary. But after that, now I don't want to. Now I leave like my other colleagues to talking with her, because I feel terrible, like seeing her hand shake. And it's not like, I don't think it'd be right for me to apologize either, because I don't think anything I told her was out of line. I never said anything out of line or something that wasn't true or something I didn't believe in. But I wasn't prepared for her reaction. And it made me think, like, I think about it every other day now, like I mean, how did that affect her outside of work? Did she go home? Did she think of herself any less? And I hope not, because that's not what the point was, and it shouldn't be. And
have you considered like bringing up the fact, like not apologizing for what you said, but maybe trying to communicate in some way to like let her know that like you don't like dislike, well, I mean, you might dislike her as a person, but like that you didn't want to like shake her up. You just wanted to tell her like it was, and so she would understand. Or it's kind of a weird touchy place, because it's like no matter what you do, like it's like, okay, on one hand you've got a situation where you feel like if you apologize for it, and then she's gonna be like, oh yeah, like he fucked up, and then she'll just continue doing what she was doing before. Or
well, that's the thing. So now there's basically two departments in our office for our company, and there's the other department, a position opened up, a lower position than the one that she currently occupies, and we told them like, hey, she might be like available, would you be interested in taking her for something, because she's Italian, so for like an Italian translation role. And they're like, yeah, we do it, we take her. And someone, apparently she was informed today, she was like over the moon. She's like, hell yeah, I'll do it, you know, like,
yeah, okay, well then, if that's the case, then it won't be really an issue.
But before she looked for like that office political like gain, and now she admits that she's overwhelmed and that it's too much for her. And I hope I did not dissuade the fire in her that might have not necessarily been fully justified, but wasn't a bad thing either. Yeah. And I do want to talk to her, and I know I won't have to work with her after this week again, I think. But I do want to talk to her. But I hope if I talk to her, I need to go in there, not into that conversation, not hoping like, okay, well, this is going to relieve me of guilt. More so, this is for her to not think of herself as incompetent necessarily, or
yeah, no, dude,
because that wasn't the point.
Well, what you should do, honestly, is, especially if she's not going to be working with you, find like the last moment that you can do this, and then like before she leaves, just be like, hey, listen, like, just say like what you just told me, like say like, listen, what I said, I didn't mean to dissuade any kind of like any passion that you had for moving up in the office or doing whatever you got to do, or like chasing your dreams in this world, you know, like don't let me be a deterrent for you. And I'm sorry if I came down hard on you, but this was going on, and I just felt like that was the only way that I could approach the situation. And you don't have to apologize, but I would, just because I'm a sorry. I always say sorry for everything, but like, you know,
yeah, I guess I could say like, I'm sorry if at the end I could like sort of wrap that all together and say sorry if that came across as harsh.
I'm sorry I pierced your heart, your ventricles, with my serrated blade of truth and knowledge gifted to me by Jordan Peterson himself.
Yeah, I'm sorry I shot you with a buckshot of reality.
Loaded by Ben Shapiro's hands.
Loaded by Ben Shapiro's hands.
Himself. Sorry.
into your open liberal mouth. I mean, it's. I think that's what I ought to do. Thank you for the input. That actually, I think that's the best.
Dude,
course of action
all
for
I'm
me.
saying is you know, I could do your job, man. I could step in over there just while you're gone. You know, just have me fill in for you, and I'll show you how to run a company, brother. I know a thing or two about a thing or two. I played a couple of video games that had like video game simulator stuff, so I know a little bit. You know.
What's actually kind of exciting is that now, technically, we are running a company. By the time this episode's out, we actually have a full-fledged company officially that's legal.
Yeah.
And that's exciting. And I'm so happy that you've quit your job. I know that it was a difficult thing to manage, and we've been talking for a long time. You've been working there for a while, and then I remember that stage when you finally were able to transition from full-time work to part-time work, and I was very happy for you then. And I'm over the moon now. I think.
Yeah, we just got to get you, dude. The only thing is now we got to get you to where you're a full-time bum too. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm trying to do.
Definitely.
Because I know that working full-time anywhere can put a lot of stress on you. But it sounds like the job, just from our personal conversations, the job's pretty difficult, and. Definitely don't put me in charge of exociety, but you can definitely, like, you know, when you step away from there, just send me there, because I don't care anything about that company, and I can show them how it's done. And I'll, I'll walk in there and I'll just be like, someone will be like, okay, what are we doing today? I'll just start yelling, buy, sell. And
yeah, I feel like,
I think it'll be good, dude. I know how to do it.
I feel like people. Also, some people who listen to us have a warped perception of what it is that we do or the time that we manage.
Yo, RAV here. At this point in the recording, I begin to vent about my packed schedule. To spare you from having to listen to a long and tedious rant, I have decided to instead summarize my monologue as follows. We are busy, hard-working boys just trying to create, which is something that we've always strived to do. YouTube will not monetize our channel based on a flawed content ID identification system that is currently in place. We have known this for months now, and yet we nevertheless continue to take time out of the week to record We Don't Suck because it is fun to do. When confronted with life's various roadblocks in the face of tight time constraints, I will often have to make decisions on how to best manage my time, and sometimes prioritize my working/personal life over a number of my passions. I hope that none of you see any of said decisions, delays or otherwise as indication of my lack of love for this. Thank you for sticking around.
I don't feel awake until like nighttime, like all the time. And
hello, this is Chancho McGregor, here to ask for your vote in the upcoming presidential election. Bill is going to keep whining for a while about his sleep cycle or whatever it is that he likes to blab about. So I'm going to take this time to sway your opinion for a vote by playing some bum-ass music from the exociety.
Buy codeine, take you every time before I go in. Don't understand relations, I've no friends. I'm so high, that's why I'm so dim. On the sofa sitting high again, staring to the mirror, hide the end. A constant thought, will I die or win? Tylenol, Klonopin, buy codeine. Yeah, stumble through the bathroom, vomit on the floor, vomit on the walls and some vomit on this door. Blood on this handkerchief, tears on this shirt. A pad and pen to note down all the years that I've been hurt. These pills, they make it work, they drown all the pain. Now they put me to sleep, and for a day or two I stay out. Don't understand people, they don't understand me. You put a smile on my face, so I guess I'm happy. Yeah, vision blurry, and my hands feel dry. My legs are shaky, and I slur. Man, I can say a fucking word. These people think they know me when I do not know myself. They act all worried about my health, but I don't feel compelled to care about their caring. Self-centered and I'm selfless. I'm just a waste of space then. No wonder I feel helpless. Yeah. Vicodin, I love you. You're the only one that takes the pain away, as cheesy as it sounds. Yeah, Vicodin, take you every time before I go in. Don't understand relations, I've no friends. I'm so
by the way, we're finally on iTunes.
Yeah,
so
shout out. Me, Rav was trying to keep us off iTunes for the longest. He said, "No, sir, Bob, don't put it on there." And I said, Rav, this is something I definitely said, by the way. I said, don't, shouldn't we put it on iTunes? A lot of people are asking. And then Rav said, don't do it. Don't you do it. And I was like, why not, man? And then he was like, I don't know, man. I just hate our fan base. And I was like,
that I did say that, and it's strange that I said all those things, you know.
It
but
is
looking
weird.
back,
it's a little suspicious, but in my opinion,
I'm
just letting everyone know that I'm the real hero here, and it wasn't impeded by me at all. Don't listen to anything Rav would say. It was definitely all his fault, but it's on now, you know. So
I didn't want to whine just for the sake of whining. I said everything up until now to say this: we enjoy making We Don't Suck. It's fun for us. Would we be upset if we could make money from it? No, of course not.
I would be terribly offended if you guys put money in my pocket for doing this.
It'd be helpful for me, for instance, you know, the more ways in which I can start diversifying my sources of income outside of my current job, the more likely I'd be able to step away from full-time work and maybe even somewhere down the line, dedicate myself full-time to making music.
You're just being
content.
a real sellout right now. This is what you sound like. Ooh, I got a mortgage. I know how to work a microwave.
I do know how to work a microwave, and I'll never let you forget that.
You need to change New Moon's title from Kill Bill and Rav to Kill Bill and Sellout.
We should name it. You should change it from New Moon to New Microwave, you bitch.
Yo, use a real hoe for this one, Rick. Yo, so this is all great talking about serious stuff and all that stuff, but I just got an alert on my earpiece, because I have an earpiece, that we have a new sponsor, dude. Because last week we didn't have any sponsors because I was too busy playing Air Everything. And I just got they're patching me in right now. They're updating me. I'm in the briefing process.
You mean the week before last week?
What? Huh?
The week before last week.
Yes, the week before last week, because our timeline is definitely fine. Oh yeah, dude. Okay, so I've got a question for you, Rav.
Right.
Okay, how many feet do you have?
5'5".
Okay, I need you to be serious, because this is serious, and I'm not trying to come down hard on you, but you're really just ruining this podcast. And I need you to straighten the fuck up,
dude,
buddy.
You're squandering my bit.
Yeah, okay. Run that back. I got a question for you, Rav. How many feet do you have?
Oh, I've got 2 feet, Bill.
You know what I say? One too many.
Okay.
Have you ever just thought, I got one too many feet?
All the time.
Okay, that's good. That's a good thing that you thought that, because I was going to have to give you a stern talking to if you didn't. So, we've got the product for you, buddy. For the people who just think like, having 2 feet is just a little much. It's a lot of responsibility. You got to wash both of them. You got to trim your toenails, or you got to bite your toenails constantly. And, you know, that's a lot. That's, you know, I had to get veneers, you know? Golden veneers. And
I know what that is.
Yeah, you know, he knows exactly what those are. But yeah, like, you know, so anyway,
I'm college educated.
Fear no more, my sweet chinchilla. We've got the product for you. Edward Norton's. Yeah, we actually got a sponsor from Edward Norton. Shout out Edward Norton. Edward Norton's
shout out
foot decapitator.
Wow.
It's I know that a decapitating is different. It's technically an amputation, but I don't make the names. Okay, I just peddle the wares. All right. So this is how it works. It's a little box. It's a glass box, but it's a plexiglass. It's pretty thick. You know, you can hit it. It goes like when you hit it, you go. you know? Anyway, it's a box and you just insert your foot into the box. And then you hit the button and it just slices like with a guillotine straight through it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say guillotine because I played Pokemon Stadium 2 and they say guillotine. Guillotine! So anyway,
that's right.
Cut straight through.
The French pronounce it like that.
Okay, well, you know, let's not get political, buddy. So,
all right, sorry.
So it slices the foot. It is painful, but you know, my mom always told me if you lose a foot, it hurts, you know, and I think that just applies here. Then you have to go to your nearest hospital, but fear not. Fear not. I've got some crazy shit for you, my friend. The box.
Tell me.
The box is free. You can have the box for free box.
What's the catch?
I mean, there's not a catch, but there is a costly sum at the end. So you go to the hospital with the box and the foot in hand it to the nice nurse who might be scared that you're getting blood all over her floor. But I mean, it's fine. It's a hospital, you know, they test you or something. I don't know. So
you don't shit where you eat.
So you come over and then you pay them a bunch of money, 3 easy payments of a bunch of money.
2 heads are better than 1.
2 heads are better than 1, brother. This guy knows what I'm talking about. Bring it in, brother. Come on. Let's
bring it in.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Tighter.
Constrict me, daddy. So they fix you up. They fix you up. They give you like a little Star Fox foot that you can use if you want. You know, that costs extra. But, you know, it's metal. It's kind of like Luke Skywalker. It's Luke Skywalker's hand, but on your foot. And, you know, it's a good product. At the end of the day, you know, I haven't used it yet, but I'm thinking about using it twice tonight because I'm thinking I need to get rid of these steppers, if you know what I'm saying. They're getting a little bit crusty, you know. I'm thinking don't feel like washing those anymore. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about this? Tell us more about the technology. Tell us more about it, Ref.
Bill, the more the merrier.
Brother, if there's anything that you ever said that I agree with.
Except for legs.
Exactly. If there's anything else that you had said that I had agreed with, it's this. Listen.
Can you give me a triple negative, but like agree with me?
Yomst. That's not a negative. Yomst. Not. I don't know where I'm going with this. Yelp's not good. Not.
That's still. That's your triple negative?
Yeah, dude. Yelp's not good. Not.
That's good, dude. Like, I like that at the end it's a not.
It's like there might be a question mark.
It subverts your expectations. Although that wasn't a positive. That didn't feel like you agreed with me. You know what I mean?
Dude, okay. I don't not like it.
You could just say, I don't not disagree.
I don't not like it. Wait.
Not.
That means not. I gotta say not, or it doesn't count. To technology, Rav. The technology. They need to hear the people.
It's actually just a bunch of tiny dynamites.
Oh shit.
Microscopic dynamites.
Dude, is it in the guillotine?
It is in the guillotine. The whole like blade is not actually a blade. It's a fucking baguette of tiny little dynamites.
That's hot, dude. That's what
that explode upon impacting.
Brother, get out of my porn history. Am I right?
He ain't.
He ain't. Yeah, man. So, dude, tell me, I don't mean to change the subject, but let's change the subject as fast as possible, man. How are the kids doing? Pretty good?
Are you talking about my balls, dude?
Yeah.
'Cause if you're talking about my balls
dude,
again.
I am, dude. As you know, dude. Yo. Pound it.
Yo, you ever have that kind of had it the other day, yesterday specifically. Like no matter how I try to sit, it felt like I was sitting on my balls.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, why? Why is this happening right now?
Yeah, why now?
What's going on? Like,
Yeet.
okay. Yeet. I've sinned. Aight. Okay. Bet.
Dude, I live a thick thigh lifestyle, so my balls are always uncomfortable.
Do you just lay them on your thigh?
I've wrapped them around my thighs.
Right. That's a veteran move right there.
Yeah, dude, that's how I mean, it cuts off all circulation, and I'm pretty sure I can't have kids now, but, you know.
How tight are you wrapping the sack? Are you constricting your leg? Does it like your leg go blue?
I use it as a tourniquet for when I cut my feet off. To make sure that I don't lose that much blood.
Y'all see, you guys thought the ad was over.
Nah, dude, y'all thought it was over. We bringing it to your doorstep again.
You thought we weren't over. Not.
Yompstative.
Over. I like how at the start I was like, give me a triple negative, and you're like, yomst, yomst. Like, what?
I don't know, man. I didn't go to school.
Yomst.
Yomst. Yomst.
Yomst.
Yo, man dog. Man dog. Man dog. Dude, I've been kind of a buzzkill up until now. Yeah, dude, you need to go home.
I just wanted to say, let's bring it back to a time where sadness was less dominant in our lives, right?
Yeah.
So, tell me about how you recorded your first song ever. What was that process? What did you use?
Oh God.
How did it make you feel? And did you listen back to the song a lot? And were you like hella proud?
Yes.
I'm saying all these things because that's how it was for me.
Yeah, I was super proud of it. I might have said this before. I think I said this on the Super Mega Cast. The first song I ever recorded was over the beat Down and Out by Cameron and Kanye West. Great beat. You sure what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And I wish I had it still. I remember the first bar was like, I ain't answering for no shit that ain't worth answering. That was my first bar. I don't know what.
That's pretty sick.
I don't know what, like.
You were talking about like getting phone calls from people about insurance, and you're like, bro, I'm 15. What
Yeah,
insurance?
exactly. No, it was actually about a girl I was seeing. Because like
she's like, you up? And you're like, I ain't answering.
No, she was tripping about some like you know how like people that age, I feel like, just would trip over like really dumb shit like all the time. Like I did. Like I always would be like upset about like immature stuff.
True. I feel like some people don't grow out of that.
That is very true. But I was there was this chick that I was talking to. We never dated, but I wanted to date her. But then she also got really mad at me if I would ever like talk to a different girl. It was weird. So she got mad at me because I got like a girlfriend, even though like we weren't seeing each other, like me and this girl. And
damn.
I was real upset about it. And so I was like, I ain't answering. I remember I said that to her. I'm pretty sure I said, I ain't answering for no shit that ain't worth answering. And then I was like, that's a bar. So,
what did you record it on?
I recorded it on, I used a digital blue camera, which if y'all Google that, it is like a camera for children. I just happened to have one. It was my only microphone. My PC did not have a microphone. And I recorded it using Windows Movie Maker because like you could put the MP3 but like slide it up. This is on XP, and you could like slide it up to where it was like where the movie would be, and then you can like overdub like from like if you were to do like a voiceover. And I recorded the verse over that, and then I didn't have any room for like dubs or anything like that, you know, any overdubbing.
Did you export it as an MP3 and did you upload it anywhere, or did you put it on your like MP3 player or iPod and kind of listen to it?
Okay, it would only export under the Windows movie file, which I think is like WMA. No, not movie file. It was like the Windows audio file. It was like I think it's WMA. And so I took that and I put it on I had like a little iPod. I just got for Christmas. I got like the iPod video. You know what I'm talking about? Like it wasn't the touch,
Right,
but it still
yeah.
had like the little wheel on it. And I put it on there and I burned it on
Those
bunch
iPods
of...
were fucking tight, by the way.
They were sick, man. Like it had games on it and everything. I mean, they were shitty games.
I
but
had that one. That was, and also that wheel was like so good. I just loved that
it's so
wheel.
like satisfying to do I feel like you could do the wheel like ASMR now. Like he just goes like the whole time while you're doing it. It's really good. But yeah, I had that and I put it on there and I burned a bunch of CDs of it and was like giving it to my friends. And I was like, yeah, I'm a rapper now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
That's
the first time I wrote something too, but I don't remember what I said, but I remember I wrote it to like a Mike Jones beat or something like that. I'm wanting to say, but what about
just
you?
to get like, I just wanted to, before we get to me, like, did you listen to it actively? Did you play it back and kind of think to yourself, like, were you hypercritical of yourself, or were you kind of like, shit, like, this is, I've got a studio, essentially. Like, I've got all the things I need.
I had this thought in my head because I was so new to it, and the fact that like I had been writing for a little bit at this point, and so like I kind of knew like how to rap a little bit, you know, like it wasn't good, but I knew my way around like bar structure and shit like that, you know, and so I was just thinking the whole time when I would listen to it, because it was this like really shitty microphone and I thought it sounded better than it did, you know, but I was always like, yo, if they got me in a studio, I'd be unstoppable. That was like, I was like, yeah, I'd be the best ever. And I would show it to people and people would always like give me this look like, yeah, it's great. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, they love it, you know, but it was really like they were just being nice.
I mean, for me, like, as I've said before in the podcast, I recorded first on a cassette, so I definitely used to listen to it on my way home. I play it back, hear my homie beatboxing, me rapping over it, and, like, people reacting. So sometimes we recorded around the high school girls and stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember just playing back to myself thinking, like, damn, I'm so dope. Like, I don't know. I just thought I'm living it, you know? I'm living hip hop. But when I transitioned to digital, I think everything changed. So I made a couple songs, but I don't remember none of them, like, pre, like, a certain age until I was, like, 14 or 15. And then I recorded this one song, did it on a dynamic mic, and I had a homie do the second verse on it, and he was experienced with like recording on condenser mic. To me back then that meant like, okay, studio mic, you know?
Yeah.
And he had like a little booth, makeshift booth, and he knew how to mix it. And I was like, hey, can you make it sound like we talking through like whatchamacallit,
like a walkie-talkie or something, or
yeah, like a walkie-talkie or some shit, or like I just wanted. Oh no, not walkie-talkie. What you call a megaphone?
Oh yeah, like a megaphone. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, all right, bet, and he made it like he kind of, I guess he ran like some sort of walkie-talkie effect through it and gave it some reverb, and he compressed it too. So up until then, my music just sounded like real, like you could tell it was real bad, like the mixing.
Right.
And at that point, I was like, holy shit, even with this kind of microphone, we can achieve this? Damn. And I used to play it back thinking like, yo, this is insane. This is nuts. I wanted to show everyone like I knew in person, this is something I made.
Yeah.
But I was still very reserved about posting shit online.
Yeah.
And the shit I would post online would oftentimes be like very either tongue-in-cheek or like trollish, where I kind of wouldn't care because I'm like, I'm making fun of someone here, and it's like it's not completely serious, so I don't have to worry about my perception. Which, ironically, looking back, those were some of the worst moments that I regret, because I could have. You can mock someone and not put in so much effort and still sound good, you know, and that wasn't the case for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I definitely listened to that one song. I play it back a lot on my iPod and just kind of like scheme.
Right. Yeah. That I would do that a lot too. Like I would listen to stuff and like, I mean, I still do. Like I'll listen to my own stuff and like there's sometimes when I get kind of pumped up at it. It's like, yo, that's it's weird. That like little bit of magic hasn't gone away from me. Like I'll still listen to like my own stuff and be like, yo, that's me right there. That's cool. You know? But
yeah, that's still cool because you know, we grow up on hip hop and we grow up on listening to so much stuff and we've heard our worst. So hearing where we are at now, even if, you know, I still feel like some of my best songs were recorded a few years ago, maybe, or like a year ago. It's not like every day I'm better, but it's cool that every day we make something new and we grow, and I never feel like we're hitting a wall or a ceiling of any sorts. And hearing that progression and knowing that we're putting out like a very high quality sound like this and that, and doing it on our own terms without a label, it is kind of like motivating.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Again,
especially when we manage to capture something like we really feel and we're like, fuck, like that's exactly how I wanted it to be. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. It's always magical when you get that like perfect take or like that perfect mix or whatever, and you're like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That was like love drug for me. Like even though there's like stuff I would change now, just like going back and just like little nitpicky stuff on my own stuff.
Of course, yeah.
Like that one,
that
I remember
when
we did that one, I was just like, yo, this is a bop. You know what I'm saying? This is
the mix is so good on that one.
Thanks, man. I would change little things about. I want to like now I've heard it so many times. I'm like, man, I would change this, and this, but it's just like I can't change. I mean, you know how many mixes we went through of that one, just in general.
Yeah.
And so it's like the idea of opening that file again just stresses me out. But like, we needed it to sound perfect because it was a lot of people's favorite song off that record. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, you know, I knew it was gonna be like a big deal to do that one, but like,
it's a fun record.
Talking about first times with recording and stuff. When was the first time that you created like a hi-fi, like a high fidelity one with like a better microphone, and you were like, yo, this is sounding like? Did you ever like freak out the first time you heard yourself on like a decent microphone?
Yeah. Okay. So I think for me, that was probably when I got the Rode NT2A, which I still use up until this day. I also use the Neumann U87, of course, but
yeah,
the Rode NT2A is still one of my go-to microphones. And I gotten it, and I got a terrible mixer, and I think I somehow managed to get it running without
the phantom power.
Without the phantom power.
Oh, I bet that thing was so quiet, dude.
It was so bad. I mean, and the mixer had the phantom power on it. I just didn't know about it for like the first month or something, or first couple of weeks. And I had to like push the mixer so hard. And so there would be like an audible hiss. And I was like, what the fuck is this, man?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I remember.
What am I doing wrong?
I remember, speaking of that, before I knew how phantom power worked when I bought my mic, because I did an ass of research on it before, because I was so excited, because like I might have said this before on here. I can't ever tell if we're saying something we've already said before, but like I was like I worked a summer job, and I saved up like all summer for my microphone, and you could tell like how like fucking broke I was, just because it was like it really isn't that expensive, like for what it was. Yeah, I mean, like my studio setup is pretty inexpensive, so it's like I went out. There was another dude on Newgrounds who had this same microphone, and I loved his mixes, and so I was like, okay, I want to get that, and I got it. It's a Studio Projects SP1. I don't know anyone else has used it. It's like an Australian mic.
Hello.
This is the sound of Rob's SD card failing and us losing half of the recording. It's okay though, we only discovered the cure for cancer while we were gone. No big deal. No biggie. Just a teeny weeny setback. Who cares? Fuck you.
Drunk in the bitch high on that Mary Jane. Pussy in my mouth, pussy on my pinky ring. Pussy in my mouth, pussy in my mouth, pussy in my mouth. Drunk in the bitch high on that Jane. Drunk in the high on that Mary Jane. Drunk in the bitch high on that Mary Jane, on that Mary Jane.
Yeah. Straight up out of the gutter shit. 6-shooter pistol to the mouth of the government. High cal like the counts in the butter sticks. Butterfinger rappers dropping pounds of that other shit. Honestly, I haven't found I can fuck with it. In the fountain, the youth about to drown in a fucking ditch. Pump fake rappers not balling a trumpet shit. The trumpet slip about it, I'm about it, I crush with fist. Focus, post in the book, I mirror image them. Stick a cultist brands to your throat and sear the emblems. Killing shit with wordplay, you got me with the penmanship. It's not a fucking death note, you're reading my best quotes. Get money, get paid. Shit, I've been a beast since the fucking 10th grade. Untouchable. Bitch mad cause I said that I don't fuck with you. My life is all music, sorry if you're fucking number 2. 5'7" be the number 2. Bitch, you ripping lead shit, I know that that's a number 2. Yo, main bitch calling me, how'd she get my number 2? I got a quarter pound of the perp, that's a number 2. Flow is so sharp, Gensu. Punching on the come up like a flowchart can do. I'm a Mozart, about to start a folk car Tengu. Emerge from the wreckage like most our friends do. This the divine speaking this piece behind beats. If it's beef, I leave them 9 deep. You peeping the beat, she keep it clapping like 9s. Box Chevy and beat drops. A beast with a beast, rock steady and beat bot. Complete with the teeth, can't compete with my beast stocks. Y'all got me feeling like I'm 3-pot.
High on that Mary Jane. Pussy in my mouth, pussy on my pinky ring. Pussy in my mouth, pussy in my mouth, pussy in my mouth. Drunk in the bitch high on that Jane. Drunk in the high on that Mary Jane. Drunk in the bitch high on that Mary Jane, on that Mary Jane.